So, hi everyone. So this is the second part of the moving stuff, physically moving stuff to Norway, and today we are going to talk about pets. So as you can see, I have two very sweet cats. There's one, Marie, she's sleeping over there, and the one you just saw, that was Ronnie. We really wanted to move them together with us because, quite frankly, they are part of our family. So how do you even start with this? Well, what I first really want to say is that for us, I have the experience of moving two cats from Belgium to Norway. This is the only perspective I can speak about. If you are, for example, moving from Canada with like a parrot, or you are moving from Japan with like 3 horses, I don't know, you can see how different this is, right? So I'm going to give you resources, and I highly suggest you do your own homework. Okay, I'm going to give you my experience, I'm going to give you all the resources you need, but still you have to do your homework. You don't want to mess around with members of your family, right? You want them to safely arrive in Norway. And when it comes to moving pets, you actually have a whole to-do list, like with everything, but you have a whole to-do list, and you have to figure out for yourself, what is my to-do list for my pets, and how long in advance do I have to start with this to-do list. So on this website, I'm going to pop on the screen now, this is a website of the Norwegian government, and it actually already gives you a lot of information about which rules apply to which pets. Then this website is actually the best one you can go to. This is the English page on the website of it's like the health and food safety website of Norway, and you can find all the information you want about pets here. But I will have to say here that you actually have to use the Norwegian page. And remember, in my second video I did in this series, that I very strongly recommended you that you learn Norwegian before you move. Well, this is actually one of the reasons, because the English page that I just showed you, it actually doesn't contain anything. It's very short and brief and page with not a lot of information, so you actually do have to use this Norwegian page. Even if you follow other information online that you can actually understand it actually in English or in whatever language, I still want you to use this website. That is because this is updated, it's from the government, and it has the only correct current information. So even if your Norwegian is not good enough, just throw this page in Google Translate and really read this page. It's really important that you follow the correct and most recent information from the government itself. I hope you understand that. A very interesting aspect on this website, I'm going to put it on the screen again. So if you scroll here, you can find actually a tool that you can fill in, and then through filling in this tool, you will find out which rules apply for the pets that you want to move. So let's do it together. First, it asks you if you are traveling yourself with the animals, which you should do. So I'm going to press yes, and then we go on. Then it asks you if your animals are under 3 months old when you will travel with them into Norway. And the correct answer is here actually no, they are not under 3 months old, because they should be older than that. Then you go on. And then you can here press like everything, or I'm just going to give the example of my personal case. I had 2 cats. Then we go on. And then you will have to fill in a list of all the lands that you will travel through to come to Norway. I will, for example, put in Denmark here. Then you can put one in again. We also traveled to Sweden because we drove all the way from Belgium to Norway. And then if you want to do it completely correct, I will also have to put in the Netherlands. So let's see where those are. And then we also traveled to Germany. Keep in mind that the names of the countries are in Norwegian. So, and then you just press this button. It's actually a very quick tool. And then you will find like a to-do list or a reminder list. And this will tell you all rules that apply to you, or what you have to keep in mind when you travel with your animals to Norway. So that was the example of, for example, moving with 2 cats like I did. And actually, I will give you my to-do list because it will apply to most cats and most dogs. And I think that's maybe the pets that get moved the most, I think. So they have to be vaccinated against rabies. That's very important. But a very important side note here is that your cat or your dog can only have this vaccination when it has reached the age of 3 months. And that implies that you can't move pets that are younger than 3 months. So if you're planning to move and you just have like a new kitten or whatever, then you will have to calculate that this kitten has to be 3 months old. Before it can have this vaccination, you have to wait a while before you can actually move. So keep this in mind if you have very, very young animals. Then you have to have a microchip. So this microchip has to follow some rules, but you can find all this information on these websites. And this chip, this implanted chip, will contain information about your pet and is readable at the border. And this serves as some form of identification. So your pet also has to have a European passport. So this is the one, for example, that I have. And if you are coming from outside the EU, and you don't have a passport like this, you will need a health certificate, and this health certificate can be downloaded on a website. This will have to be filled in correctly, and you will have to show it at the border. Then, if you are physically moving, you have all these checkpoints. Then you are physically moving, you have to pass border control. So very important here is whether you arrive with a car or you arrive with an airplane. This is, for example, a website. Here you can find all the different like border control locations in Norway. Not all of these locations are equipped to handle animals. And even those that are equipped to help you with animals crossing the border only allow you to do so at certain hours of the day. So you will have to determine in advance where will I cross the border. Then it's best that you contact or just send an email or contact them and see which hours of the day and if you are allowed to pass with animals on this specific location. That's very important. Then at this border control, you will have to, of course, prove that you are the owner of the animal. So for example, I have this. It's like an owner certificate, which has my name and proves that I am the owner of the cat. But also this owner, like, it's also filled in this European passport. So that is something you will have to prove. And a little side note here, I really highly recommend that you travel together with the pet, and that is the owner. So even if you are a whole family and you have animals and some members of the family will travel with this animal, that doesn't always mean that they are the owner of the pet. Usually, at least in Belgium, the pet can only have one owner, and this owner have to travel together with the pet. This will make your life so much easier, because if you don't, a whole other set of rules will apply. The tool that we just filled in, you just have to try and fill it out, and if they ask you, will you travel together with your pet, and you cross no, you will see that you have a completely different list of like rules and restrictions, and everything is more difficult. So travel together with your pet. And then at the border control, they will check all your paperwork and see if everything is correct. And then they will fill in a document for you, like a proof that you imported this animal into Norway. It doesn't cost you anything, at least when you talk about your own pet, right? I'm not talking about like any commercial pet traveling here. So I'm talking about a pet that you already owned before and that you will own after you move. So like a personal pet, not anything commercial, because that's different rules. But I will show you a document that they gave me at the border, and they gave it to me in 2 times, so both of my cats got his own document. I will not show it to you up close, but just so you know, like this is the type of document that they filled in for me, and they put a stamp here that crossed the border. And if I now look at it, I think I did pay something. This says I paid like 120 euros. That's probably correct. That's probably correct. So maybe you have to like pay a fee. Maybe it's just like an administration fee, but to be completely honest, I kind of forgot about that one. So it is possible that you have to pay like a small administration fee. They will this document also like assigns a number to you, to your animal and to yourself. So if you are, after you move and you look for a new animal doctor, what's that in English? Vet. Oh my. Okay, I can't pronounce this word. So I will just use the word animal doctor. If you have moved, you have to find a new one as soon as possible, because then this one can like find the animal, check the microchip, and then register it completely into Norway. Then you have like peace of mind that if something happens to your animal, or you have an emergency or something, then you know what to do, you know where to go. Another tip I would love to give you is before you move, make like a last stop with your animal doctor back home, because he or she can then figure out if the animal is in good health, check if the passport is filled in correctly, see if the microchip is functioning, so you don't have any troubles. And then 2 more tips. I would suggest that you move with a car if it's possible, because this is a very personal opinion, of course, but I think that at least our cats are way more at peace in the car, but you can control their environment and control the way you are moving them, and you can take breaks and whatever and adjust to their needs. If you're taking them on a plane, you have much less control over it, and they just have to undergo the process, and there's no breathing space, if that makes sense. So I would suggest that you take them with you in a car if that's possible, but that's a very, very personal opinion. Also, if you fly or you have to fly, it's not possible to drive here, then of course you have to fly, check with the airports or check with the airline that you are flying with, because each airline has like a different set of rules about how they deal with animals. Like it has to do with their size and the kind of animal. It has to do with the race, because not every dog and cat race you can bring with you on a plane. So please check that out. It can be that you have a dog and it's not allowed on planes, then you will have to find another way. But then here, like, I know we checked it out, there are companies that exist that have this pet moving service. So if you just Google it in your local language, then you might find like a company who can help you out if you are one of these people who can't drive here because it's too far and your pet can't go on an airplane. Like, what do you do? So in that case, there are probably companies who can help you navigate this problem. Also, this is a very interesting website. Here you can find a new animal doctor in Norway, and once your animal is officially registered with a doctor in Norway or with a location in Norway, then you will have access to this website, and here is all the information that you could possibly need for your pet. And that was all the information I can give you on this subject. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you have the right resources now to do your own homework, because this is not like a general thing, right? This is a very, very specific thing. So I hope you can use the resources that I gave you. And then I wish you all the luck, because if you want, you can check out like my I think the second video I made about moving to Norway. It's a bit cringy to look at, but still you can kind of see how we dealt with it. And our cats actually they dealt with it very well. They were very calm in the car, and they did need a bit of adjusting time when we first arrived to our new home in Norway. They did need like a week or two to, like settle down a little bit. So you have to think, of course, about that too, that you have the room and the space for your animals to come home. But otherwise, they adjusted so well, and they're so happy here, and they have so much more space to go where they want to go. But still, I wish you all the best with moving your pets to Norway. And then I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!